And they've got to overcome not playing last weekend. They had their series with this very team, Montana, canceled because of the virus, as so many have happened this year. Montana went out and scheduled Warner Pacific to get a couple home games and kind of keep their momentum going. So Idaho has not played for a little while.
Anderson defense down low and a foul early as Blakney going to the hoop is fouled and will head to the free throw line to start out.
Scott Blakney is very, very fundamentally sound around that low post. He's playing in his 101st game in the tournament here. He's the second leading scorer. He led the team in scoring almost all year until Damian Thacker really took off in about the last 8 games of the season and overtook him to be the leading scorer. But this guy really knows how to play in the low block.
Hits the first free throw to get the Vandals on the board. Converts on both, and Idaho with an early 2-0 lead. This being, like you said, yet another matchup of the teams not having played each other at all. It's really a fresh, clean slate for both these teams.
Both teams kind of playing a small lineup. Montana essentially with 4 perimeter guys playing around Kyle Owens, and Idaho playing really small with number 13 DeAndre Robinson, 6'4", playing their power forward.
Nice steal by Owens. Owens going to drive inside. Hard at the rim, but he's fouled in the process. So Kyle Owens trying to set the tone early for this Grizzly team.
Montana, probably the youngest team in the league in terms of their starters. They've had 51 starts this year by their 3 freshmen, which is the 6th most in the country, John. They've had at least 1 freshman in all but 4 of their 25 games. So I think Travis DeCure made a decision probably about 5 or 6 weeks ago that he was going to go with these young guys, and they have grown up quite a bit in the last month, riding a 4-game winning streak into this tournament.
No doubt there's been ups and downs throughout the year for the Montana Grizzlies. But the bright side is they've seen, as you said, a lot of growth, but a lot of potential that's developing in these underclassmen.
Well, with these 2 freshman guards starting, they're trying to grow some kids to match Michael Ogine and Ahmad Rory, those 2 terrific guards that led Montana to the last 2 conference tournament championships.
Josh Bannon inside, blocked at the rim.
Montana's missed their last 2 shots right at the rim, not uncontested layups, but what I call college layups. Owens won and Bannon won.
Thacker working back the other way. Defensive switch for the Grizz. Out top, Garvin. They motion back around to Thacker. Thacker with 7 on the shot clock and a steal in the lane by the Grizzlies.
Thacker, a very offensive-minded guard. When he gets the ball in his hands, he's thinking about one thing, and that's about putting the brown thing in the round thing.
Parker stepped inside. Misses on the mid-range jumper.
DeAndre Robinson, again, an undersized 4-man at 6'3". He led this team early in the year in scoring and rebounding, and then kind of quieted down after that.
Thacker into the corner, 3-pointer in and out for Christmas. Parker works up top, 3-pointer off the mark. Tip ball, and the Grizz able to recover. Montana will reset with the fresh shot clock. Parker moving left. Ball fake. Go all the way to the rack, and the Grizz on the board.
Terrific pass fake there by Josh Bannon, the freshman from Melbourne, Australia. One of 7 Australians playing in the Big Sky Conference this year, John. 26 international players.
Nice pass inside is an easy lay-in for Blakney.
Scott Blakney As I mentioned, his 101st game, coming off a tough game in their last loss to Montana State, only 6 points and 1 rebound. Well, Scott Blakney is very good in the low block. He really has trouble kind of getting to the ball off the glass. Not a great rebounder for a guy his size.
Nice job defensively for Montana. The Grizz with a slow offensive start, Joe. They're just 1 of 6 from the field, but using strong defense. As Idaho, their 4th straight possession ending with a turnover.
Remember, Montana's starting 3 freshmen. That may be kind of freshman jitters. Nobody in the stands, but this is their first conference tournament, so it's a little bit different for them.
The sea legs effect.
I would say so.
Kick out, 3-pointer from the left angle. Oxygen squared on that attempt for Josh Vasquez.
Make that now 1 for 7 from the field, 0 for 2 from the 3-point line. While Idaho is 1 of 2 with 4 turnovers. Not exactly an offensive masterpiece so far, John.
Motion over, Thacker works inside. A shot at the rim blocked away for Tanner Christensen. Now a teardrop falls in, and the Vandals with a 6-2 lead.
Josh Vasquez now in for the Grizzlies, a sophomore who played a lot himself as a freshman. Montana pretty deep at the guard line, still young even with Vasquez again being a sophomore.
Ball tipped out of play. Vandal basketball. Early energy from Idaho has made the difference as Montana struggling from the field. Vandals with a 6th.
Exactly an offensive outburst here to start the game.
See how Idaho responds coming out of that dead ball timeout as they try to continue to add to this momentum. Thacker steps up for a 3, nails it.
Very good individual defense in by Josh Vasquez, but Thacker, who has really been pretty hot here in the last about 3 weeks of the season. As I said, when he catches it, he is very offensive minded.
9-2 lead for Idaho.
Idaho now 1 for 8. And in the last game, the lower seed, the 10 seed, Northern Arizona, got off to a great offensive start, and I thought that really sparked them defensively.
Scott Blakney lays it up and in. It's now an 11-2 lead, Idaho over Montana, just like we drew it up.
Yeah. You know, it could again be the inexperience of this young Montana Montana team playing in their first conference tournament.
Vasquez, yes, a 3 from the quarter cuts the scoring drought that was over 3 minutes for Montana.
Vasquez, even though he's a sophomore, is one of the more seasoned guys on this team with 16 starts this year and several last year as a freshman.
Vandals trying to work with 11 on the shot clock. They isolate Christensen down low. Hook shot up and off the mark. Back the other way, Vasquez trying to motion against Thacker. Now they isolate Kyle Owens down on the baseline. Kick out, Owens for 3. In and out.
Owens is more than capable of making that. He is a 44% three-point shooter. He doesn't shoot a lot, 38 in their 25 games. He really lit Weber State up, especially from the three-point line when Montana beat Weber State in Weber State's first game of that 2-game series over in Missoula.
Strong defensive play there is Josh Vasquez with the clean steal. Vasquez, a good job coming in off the bench. The sophomore from Torrance, California, played at Bishop Montgomery High School.
Mac Anderson now in the game for Kyle Owens.
Bannon motions around. Vasquez works it inside over to Parker, who lays it up and in.
Cameron Parker, the 6'2" transfer from Sacred Heart, originally from Beaverton, Oregon, so he went a long way from home when his first college choice, but he leads the league in assists and assist-to-turnover ratio.
Offensive foul. Thacker's going to pick up his second personal foul. That's an early stat to watch. Look at it. Non-basketball play. So that'll send Josh Vasquez to the line. First free throw is up and in.
Montana, an outstanding free throw shooting team. In fact, they are one of the best teams, not just in the Big Sky, but in the nation, shooting 80%.
So just like that, the Grizzlies, who trailed 11-2, they're on a 7-0 run and have a chance to tie or take the lead on this possession. Kick out over Bannon. Inside to Big Mac Anderson. Anderson fouled as he goes up for a dunk, and he'll head to the free throw line.
What a nice pass by the big freshman from Melbourne, Australia, 6'9", who's essentially playing the small forward position, or at least he has that skill set. Put that ball on the deck, got to the paint, and made a terrific little paint-to-paint pass, I call him, which takes a high level of skill, but he is an outstanding freshman. He started 18 games, played in 23. He is one of the young, blossoming superstars here in the Big Sky Conference.
Anderson off the mark on both of those free throw attempts. Coming up on 12 minutes to go here in this first half. Basketball version of the Little Brown-Stein rivalry. Ball tipped up and out of play. Turnover goes to Montana, and we have a timeout on the floor. Good back and forth contest. Idaho holding on to a narrow 11-9 lead over
nations and housing everyone, but to do it during these times, during the COVID virus, is just what they have done is so admirable in getting everyone here, and let's hope we can get through the whole tournament.
Not just the measures that you're seeing on your screen with limited fans, testing protocols, other safety initiatives. Again, a credit out to the Big Sky and the member schools of the conference for doing what it's taken to get the student athletes to compete for a chance.
Excuse me, John. Montana came out with a nice set play after that timeout and got the ball to Bannon right where he wanted it. And I think that was Tanner Christensen got a hand in there, and or was that Blakney got a hand in there and knocked the ball away from Bannon.
Grizz looking for motion out top. Brandon Whitney. Whitney matched up against Babacar Thiambane. Out top. Whitney now going to try to drive all the way inside and up and off the glass.
Brandon Whitney, who has played and started 22 games this year, which is the most on the team. So he has been pretty consistent as a freshman from day one, averaging 10 points and a couple rebounds. Third leading scorer.
Fall away jumper is off the mark for the Vandals. Grizz back the other way. Whitney. Roll it over to Vasquez on the angle left.
Eddie Egan in the game now for the Grizzlies.
Battle down low for rebounds right now.
Montana just having a whole lot of trouble putting the ball in the hoop here in the early going of this game. 4 of 13. And they've had several of them, John, right at the rim. Not what you'd call just uncontested wide open layups, but nonetheless right at the rim.
Fall away jumper, that's off the mark. Grizzlies control the rebound. Tied at 11. Under 10 minutes to play here in this first half. at the hoop. Nice tip-in job as Anderson.
Big Mac Anderson from Bozeman High School. Him becoming a Grizzly from Bozeman probably didn't go over very well with the Montana State faithful.
First Montana native in 15 years to play for the Grizzlies. Blakney inside. Great job on the post-up.
And I told you, Blakney really knows how to play in the low post. He's not real athletic, but he knows how to use his body. He is very, very well versed and great footwork down around the block.
Tied at 13. Vasquez going to jump it from three. Yes!
Nice set play there to get Vasquez at that open look. A seasoned veteran, all of us, the sophomore that he is. That was a nice call from the Montana bench.
We have a timeout on the floor. 30-second timeout, and we are going to stay with you.
Leads all scorers in the game with 8 points, and as I said, one of the grizzled veterans on this Montana team, yet he is only a sophomore, but played big minutes, many starts last year, and a valuable asset to the Grizzlies coming off the bench right now. But he's got him not only back in the game, he's the guy that got him the lead.
Christensen inside, got his own miss, and he's fouled trying to put a shot back up.
Big Tanner Christensen, 6'10", 260 pounds, good-looking freshman from Spokane Valley in the Spokane area and University High School, returned Mormon missionary, which you don't see a lot in the Big Sky if you live where you and I do and cover people like Weber State and Utah State and Utah. You see that quite a bit. He is the leading rebounder on this Vandal team, but a good-looking young freshman for the Vandals. Boy, he's got a baby face, too, doesn't he? He looks a lot like you, John, that baby face of yours.
Yeah, my 5 o'clock shadow doesn't come in until about 7:30, generally. Montana with a 2-point lead, 16-14. Vasquez isolated on the left side. Into the corner, Kyle Owens going to jump it from three. Off the mark. Kendall McHugh looking to take the play call from Zach Kloss.
Derek Carter Hollinger in for the Grizzlies now, a kid that was a freshman of the year in the league last year, but has battled so many injuries this year. It's been really hard for him to find a rhythm.
Owens over to Vasquez, now a corner. Grizz looking for motion. Vasquez going to set from three again. In, out, and back in for the California native.
And a terrific pass by Cameron Parker, who leads the league in assists and assist-to-turnover ratio. Parker had a wide-open shot, passed up a good shot to create a great shot.
Vandals break a scoreless drought there. They were 1 of 7 on their previous trips down the floor, able to get a nice basket to cut the deficit to 3.
Basket by Ethan Kilgore. We have failed to mention that the one player on the Vandal team who has started every game and their best three-point shooter, Gabe Quinnett, is not with the team today.
Scrum for the ball. The Vandals control. 7 minutes left to go here in this first half. McHugh looking to feed Christensen down low. Foul on the floor. That foul sends us to a dead ball timeout, and we'll take it as well. 19 out of an early hole. They have a narrow lead with 6:51 to go in the first half on Pluto TV.
John Kendall McHugh that just threw that last nice lob pass there is seeing his first action of the game and tried a little trickery there, threw it off the backside of the Montana defender. But he's a kid that the Vandals signed out of the College of Southern Idaho, and they thought was going to be their starting point guard, and had a bad ankle injury seeing his first action of his Idaho career here in the conference tournament. And there's Owens, who I said is a very effective face-up shooter from the three-point line. And the Grizzlies using that three-point shooting to keep themselves with the lead by 4 points here.
Fast break 3-on-2. Count it. Power play as Robbie Beasley driving inside with energy and enthusiasm. And he's going to head to the free throw line to complete the old-fashioned three-point play.
Robbie Beasley, one of 3 double-digit scorers on this University of Montana team, and also one of 3 freshman starters. 6'3", good-looking kid. 6'3", 190 freshman, 190-pound freshman from San Ramon, California. And the Grizzlies very methodically, after getting off to that really slow start offensively, has now stretched the lead to 7 points.
Inside, Blakney unable to convert, but a foul on Blakney. The energy at the glass that we've seen pick up for Montana is translated into defense and better scoring.
Well, again, remember the 3 freshmen in the starting lineup, their first ever conference tournament. I think they may have had a little stage fright, so to speak. Now they're kind of settling down, as you say, playing with a lot more energy and finding the bottom of the basket, just as Josh Bannon did there to stretch the lead to 9 points.
Matches Idaho's largest lead of the game. They had an 11-2 lead, and the Grizz on a 25-7 run since then. Turnover, Idaho.
Back-to-back turnovers going through the post for Idaho. And they've got to be careful not to let this get too far away from them before the end of the half.
Winner of this game advancing to play Weber State, the 3 seed, tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Penetration inside. Step up jumper and nothing but net for Robbie Beasley.
Beasley, 2 of the last 3 baskets for the Grizz.
Nice post up inside as Robinson able to convert.
DeAndre Robinson from Tallahassee Community College. Nothing too tricky about that. He just put his head down and kind of muscled his way to the basket for a pretty easy 2.
Bannon, turnaround jumper in the lane, yes.
Well, what a nice move there. That is a tough play to pull off, where you 2-foot jump stop and do basically a pirouette in the paint and lay it up. That's tough for a guard, and Bannon is 6'9".
Idaho trying to cut into this Montana energy, and it's another turnover for the Vandals.
And then Bannon comes down to the other end of the floor and plays great individual defense on DeAndre Robinson. Robinson 6'4", Bannon 6'9". Great lateral movement by the big Aussie. The Vandals have been in this 2-3 zone for an extended period of time. Now they're going back to man-to-man for the first possession in quite some time.
Beasley, top of the three-point line. Screen outside by Owens. Parker, all the way to the rim. Nice defense by Christensen.
Christensen's second block of the game.
Trying to post up Bannon and does so successfully. That's a pretty move for Christensen.
Well, he just used his bulk there. Tanner Christensen, 6'10", 260 pounds. Bannon only 215. And Christensen just kind of bullied him to the basket.
What a move by Kyle Owens, unable to finish. Under 3.5 to go here in this first half. Mid-range jumper off the mark for Robinson.
Little post ISO there on the elbow for DeAndre Robinson, where he could catch it and just spin to his left. He didn't get all the way to the basket.
Transition three grazes the rim as Eddie Egan off the mark. Under 3 to play in the first half. Kick out, three-pointer, yes! Chance Garvin.
Chance Garvin, a senior who's only appeared in 11 games, a kid who's played a lot of career games but has been hurt a lot this year. Finally got healthy a couple weeks ago, and again, without Gabe Quinnett in the lineup, kind of gives him some time at 6'4" to pick up the slack where Gabe Quinnett is in, and to be down only 6 points.
It's only one type of turnover a coach likes, Joe.
That's hot out of the oven.
Well played. Free throws here for Josh Bannon. Hits the front end of the 1-and-1.
The big lefty from Australia sure looked smooth shooting that one in. He's a 79% free throw shooter, which is second on the team behind an unbelievable freshman, Robbie Beasley, who's shooting 95% from the free throw line.
So the lead back up to 8 for Montana.
Damian Thacker, the leading scorer for the Vandals, with the ball in his hand now with but one field goal, but he's only shot it one time. He's 1 for 1 from the three-point line with a total of 3 points. Tanner Christensen, the big freshman from Spokane Valley, leading the Vandals in scoring with 5. Josh Vasquez from Montana leading all scorers with 11, the only double-digit scorer in the game.
Coming up on 2 minutes left to go here in the first half. Passing lanes clogged up with Grizzlies. Thacker has to kick out. Three-pointer, it's off the iron. Vasquez able to corral the long rebound.
Good job by Kyle Owens on that block out there and keeping big Tanner Christensen off the glass.
Runner in the lane, a nice move and a score for Brandon Whitney.
Brandon Whitney, even though he's a freshman, more starts, 24 out of 25 games than anyone on the team.
Ball tipped up and out of play. Up to a double-digit lead for Montana, 35-25.
Josh Vasquez, the sophomore from Torrance, California, has had an impact at both ends of the court. The leading scored 11 points, but he has really been active defensively. He's the one that tipped that ball out of bounds, narrowly not getting a steal there.
Three-pointer from distance, catches nothing but air. Vasquez, though, with the pass inside, it's turned over quickly. Ball's tipped out of play, remains with Idaho, but a good job by the Grizz to stop that fast break transition.
Only the third turnover from Montana there. Travis DeCure just clapped his hands, kind of urged his team on. It's been a hard year over in Missoula. They've lost a couple guys that they, guy that was voted as the newcomer of the year, Michael Stedman, the transfer from San Jose State, left the team. Cameron Satterwhite, who would have figured in, given a lot of maturity at the wing, transfer from Northern Arizona, left the team. And that had a lot to do with Coach DeCure having to go with such young teams. 3 freshmen in the lineup. Kyle Owens on a pick and pop there. And he shot that in smooth as silk, the big lefty. 6'8", set a ball screen, and then popped for the jump shot. That was pretty impressive. Grizzlies up 11 points now.
What a turn of events it's been as the shot clock turned off. The Vandals going to try for the final shot of the half. Thacker inside. Step up three, nearly at the buzzer, and some momentum for the Idaho Vandals as they head into halftime. Chance Garvin hits from deep. 38-30, Montana with the lead.
That was a tough shot. The Grizzly defender right
at halftime here inside the...
Those turnovers reared their ugly head.
Take a look at both head coaches as we get ready to start out this second half. Montana will have possession, and the Grizz underway, looking to play their way into the quarterfinals tomorrow night against Weber State.
Work through it, work through it, work through it.
Men's tournament, unlike the women's tournament, the men's tournament, if you play as a first day game, you have to play 4 straight days. The women's side of the draw has a day off tomorrow when there will be 4 Big Sky men's quarterfinals here inside of Idaho Central Arena. Foul on the floor.
And who will be doing all 4 of those games, pray tell, tomorrow?
I think it's, unless I find out something different, I believe it's you and I. But that could change.
Well, we may get graded on today with these 3 games, and it could not be us. But we will have all-day basketball tomorrow here in the 45th edition of the Big Sky Conference Tournament.
Mid-range jump shot, yes. Nice conversion.
DeAndre Robinson, who had a couple big baskets early in the first half to really help these Vandals. DeAndre now with 6 points.
Owens in and out for 3.
The Grizzlies have started the half off with 2 long jump shots. I kind of thought maybe Coach Secure would draw something up to go inside early on.
Offensive foul. Great job by Mac Anderson. Put his body in perfect position. Blakney had nowhere to go, and it's an offensive foul that Montana draws.
Blakney now with 3 fouls, which does not bode well for an Idaho team who doesn't have a lot of size to start off with.
Bannon looks for motion. Vasquez now out top with 14 on the shot clock. Bannon has to jump it, gets his own miss. Corner 3 now for the Grizzlies. A little bit short there for Whitney.
Nice kick out to Whitney. And Montana is starting this half offensively just like they started the first half. They are now 0 for their first 4.
Inside to Blakney, who lays it up and in. And the Vandals coming out of halftime, Joe, on a 4-0 run.
Well, Montana, I don't know if they had been doing this the whole game, but before too long in that first half, they've gone to a full front on Blakney down low, which leaves them really open to that lob pass unless that weak side defense is open. They may want to adjust that a little bit and maybe go to a little half front on Blakney.
Beasley gets the score to give the Grizzlies their first bucket of the second half. 3-pointer is off the front of the iron. Travis DeCure trying to pick up yet another win in this Big Sky Conference tournament. He's had so much success in this tournament. Played for the finals 4 different times. He's won 2 of them. Just an outstanding record of success in this conference tournament. All the way to the rack, laying up and in for Brandon Whitney.
Well, because last year's tournament was called off, people forget Montana has won the last 2 tournaments, John, and gone to back-to-back NCAA tournaments before last year. It was kind of a twist of irony. They played Michigan in the first round of both NCAA tournaments.
Javari Christmas with a nice mid-range jump shot.
Montana is trying to be only the 2nd team in the history of this tournament to win 3 straight Big Sky tournaments. Weber State did that back in the mid-70s. In fact, Montana won the first ever Big Sky tournament, and they have won the most at 11.
Mac Anderson unable to lay the ball up and in. 6-point lead for Montana. Christmas works the baseline. Thacker now isolated on the baseline with 11 seconds on the shot clock. Trying to post up inside. No good.
Whitney has done a nice job on Thacker. He's not the only one that's been matched up with him, but it's been him for the most part. The leading scorer for the Vandals only has one field goal, made three-point shot.
Vasquez, runner in the lane, is off the mark.
And again, Montana starting this half exactly the way they started the last half, and that is really struggling to make the ball go down. Idaho really slowing the pace of the game here, which I think is really smart. I think that's what they have to do. Thacker now 1 of 4 for that game, 1 of 3 from the three-point line.
Work down low. Feed Bannon. So our first time out of the second half, and the Montana Grizzlies still leading, trying to work their way into a quarterfinal matchup on Thursday. Can the Vandals come back?
Idaho 3 of 6, but as I've said for the third time now, Montana starting this half just like they started the last half.
Coming out of the timeout, Thacker working up top with Babacar Thiambane. Inside to Thiambane, who nearly loses the ball on the baseline instead of kick out into the corner. It's a long rebound that the Grizzlies control. Driving inside. Whitney goes all the way and is fouled.
Nice job of Whitney just finding the defender's body and getting himself to the free throw line. Instead of trying to do something tricky there, just go hard to the basket. Do something hard and then get something easy. That is 2 free throws. Idaho continues to out-rebound the Grizzlies, John, 23-15. And if I'm Coach DeCure and Montana, that is a point of concern for me.
Both free throws up and in for Whitney, the freshman from Mission Hills, California. His parents both coach, so him doing the smart play there, like you said, driving all the way to the rack to take free throws. That makes sense. Christensen isolated down low against Kyle Owens. Good job by Owens defensively.
Very good post defense. Really, there's not a lot to post defense, but a lot of guys can't figure it out. You just got to stay down and stay between your man and the basket and make them try to score over you. And that's exactly what Owens did. A lot of guys get angled to the basket and get themselves out of position. Owens, very, very good post defense then.
Whitney lost the ball driving inside. 8-point lead for the Grizz.
Only the 5th turnover for Montana. They've been pretty efficient handling the ball. They've just not been very efficient shooting it in the hoop.
Owens inside, gets the tip. Bannon finishes up the drill.
There was that full front on Blakney in the low post by Owens, but Bannon there to give great help on the weak side.
Grizzle reset with 16 on the shot clock. Parker tries to drive inside on Thiambane, lays it up and in.
Nice hesitation move by the transfer from Sacred Heart. Going to his strong hand, his left hand kind of started and stopped and really shook the defender.
Timeout on the floor, taking the Grizzlies back.
Grizzlies, they've won more Big Sky tournaments than anyone with 11. And what I like about, they're not playing particularly well, especially at the offensive end, but they've still continued with great concentration, great effort, and they're just kind of playing through not a great offensive performance.
Blakney up and off the glass, yes.
And a nice call by Zach Claus coming out of that timeout. Went to a little high-low action, knowing that Montana is fronting that low post. Caught it up around the high post and just threw it over the top.
Parker tried for a save on the baseline. Instead, it's a turnover, and Idaho takes over, trailing by 8.
We've played 28 minutes, John. We still only have one double-digit score in this low-scoring affair.
Steal inside. Nice defensive play by Parker. Drive inside, trip, and a foul.
Eddie Egan, the redshirt sophomore, taking it tough to the basket there. Didn't get there, did get a foul, and the Grizz get an end out here.
Vasquez works it out to Parker, who sets up top. 10 on the shot clock. Parker. Three-pointer out top, in and out as Egan unable to convert.
That did everything but go in. You said in and out. I mean, it went in, out, down, and then came back out.
Screen outside. Thacker going to jump it for 3. Yes!
Now, see, that was not the guy guarding Thacker's fault. That was the guy who was guarding the screener's fault. He should have let, I think it was Whitney guarding Thacker there. No, that screen was coming way out on the floor. He could have very easily went under that and kept Thacker from getting to that shot. Thacker's second field goal, second three-point field goal of the game.
Drive inside. Whitney with the vacuum job.
Now here's Whitney on Thacker again. See if they set that high ball screen. That time they did a nice job of navigating it, going under.
Thacker throws up a shot off the glass. Off the mark, but he'll come out of this timeout shooting free throws. 11-10 to go in this second half.
He is the Vandals' only double-digit scorer at this point in the game.
Damon Thacker setting up at the free throw line. Transfer from Walla Walla Community College. His first free throw in and out.
And originally from right down the road here in Meridian, Idaho. So he essentially is home right now.
Played his AAU basketball with former Vandal star Trayvon Allen. I'm sure that was a bit of a draw to head to Moscow. A lot of screens for this Grizzly team. 13 on the shot clock. They work around to Bannon. Now out top, Vasquez. Yes!
Vasquez, who has carried his team all afternoon at the offensive end. Nice ball movement, though, by Montana. They got that ball reversed at least 3 times.
Steal by Kyle Owens.
And there, fronting the low post, worked out pretty good, especially when the Vandal, who was trying to feed the low block guy, threw it right to Kyle Owens.
51-41.
14 turnovers for the Vandals now.
Step up elbow jumper. Robbie Beasley.
Robbie Beasley, the second leading scorer. Actually, he's really tied with the other freshman, Whitney, at 10 points apiece. And a nice pull-up jump shot.
Pass tipped away by Owens. Bannon fronts Blakney. Push inside, no call. No harm, no foul as Blakney converts.
And no flop call. I thought they may, I'm not sure he did flop, but in my mind that was either a flop or an offensive foul, but the referee called it a play on.
Traveling violation.
And Travis DeCure telling the freshman Bannon, shoot the ball. Boy, he sure led with that left arm, though. But you know what? I kind of admire the referee for letting them play. But you just got to be consistent with that. If you're going to let them play, you got to let them play. Beasley wide open on that last possession. And that was a really nice called play from the sideline. They lined up in a 1-4, took it away from Blakney. He cuts back door, a back cut, and ends up with a layup. Really nice execution by the Vandals at the offensive end.
Just like that, Idaho back within 8. That causes
Blakney now on that nice little set play leads his team with 14 points. And the Vandals, as I described them, as an old garden snake, you just can't kill them. They just kind of keep coming back to life, and Montana cannot shake the 1-20 Vandals.
Grizz looking for motion outside. Vasquez, tip ball.
A near turnover.
Montana recovers with Beasley working inside, goes all the way to the rim, and he's fouled.
Beasley, who was replaced in the lineup this second half by Josh Vasquez, because Vasquez played so well in the second half. I don't think Vasquez has come off of the floor this half. But now a 3-guard lineup in with Bannon and Owens. Remember, the Grizzlies started a big lineup, and they have been starting a big lineup with Bannon actually at 6'9", playing the small forward, Kyle Owens playing the 4, and Mac Anderson. But they have played mostly, I would assume, because of matchup issues, a much smaller lineup, playing 3 guards and 2 bigs, as opposed to 2 bigs and 3 guards. Or 3 bigs and 2 guards, I'm sorry.
Beasley hit a pair of free throws. Now Montana with a steal.
Excuse me, John. I was just going to say, Josh Vasquez plays with an air of maturity about him. Even though he is just a sophomore, he plays like he has been here before, which he has.
Long 3 for Vasquez. Top billing.
Right on cue. Right on cue. Really nice. And again, another nice call from the sideline from Travis DeCure. Ran him up off of a double staggered screen from low to high.
Vasquez with a steal. Goes all the way to the rim. And he's going to head to the free throw line to try to add to this Grizzly lead. Montana leading by 13 now, 58-45. Timeout in Boise, and then free throws on the other side here on Pluto TV.
Grizzly lineup last year, but he is playing like a seasoned veteran tonight.
First free throw up and in, ups the lead up to 14 points.
And 18 points, which establishes his new season high. Make that 19.
Largest lead of the game for Montana, up to 15. And a turnover, Idaho.
And Josh Vasquez hits 2 free throws, hustles back on defense, gets his hand in the passing lane, and causes a turnover, the 17th turnover by the Vandals. Now, John, the Vandals are shooting 51% for the game. They're out-rebounding Montana 24-21, but that 17 turnovers has just killed them.
Grizzlies on a 7-0 run, 4-4 on their last 4 trips down the floor. Give it up to Vasquez in the corner. That one rattles in and out.
And we got a Vandal down. Ethan Kilgore, the freshman from Gower, Missouri. Looks like maybe he turned his ankle, maybe. I didn't see what happened. I saw the action going the other way and him laying on the inline.
Hope he recovers quickly as take a look to try and see what happened.
And in fact, we had this the last game, I believe, where he stepped on one of the opposition's ankle and turned his ankle, or stepped on his foot and turned his ankle.
Nice rebound for Bannon.
I tell you, Bannon was not the freshman of the year in the league. We will see him tomorrow when Weber State Wildcats take the court. But what a nice-looking freshman Josh Bannon is. 6'9", can shoot it in from the three-point line. Very athletic. Boy, I wish he had made that, because that would have been right on cue, wouldn't it? And made me look real smart, which is not easy to do.
He would have done it about as well as anybody has today. There's no doubt about that. Coming up on 6.5 to play. A nice driving lay-in inside, and that's going to send Javari Christmas to the free throw line.
Javari Christmas with 4 points for the Vandals. Portland native who played at Sheridan College, where Steve Smiley was the head coach, the victorious Northern Colorado coach in his first Big Sky tournament. But he was a long-time coach and AD at Sheridan College, and that's where Javari Christmas played. Javari Christmas, one of the better free throw shooters in the league.
Connects on both there as the lead down to 13, 60-47. Parker plays out top to Beasley. Beasley now with 10 on the shot clock will jump it from 3.
Really good ball movement by Montana against that zone, but they were playing a little bit too much east and west and not enough north and south. They got to penetrate that zone a little bit more.
Thacker with a nice lay-in.
The Vandals' leading scorer. As I said, when he gets the ball in his hands, he's got one thing in mind, and you just saw what is usually on his mind, getting to the basket and making the ball go in.
Feed Bannon down in the post. Vasquez. Kick out to Owens. Owens tries to drive inside. Offensive foul.
That's about the second or third time this afternoon that Montana's had a wide open shot, and they get a little bit too greedy. Now, Owens just hit a 3 not too many minutes ago, and why he didn't pull the trigger on that, I don't know.
Three-point jump out top. Yes, Chance Garvin. Garvin's hit a couple big threes in this game. And just like that, Idaho now back within 8.
Chance Garvin now with 9 points. Again, the senior from Cooley Dam has had an injury-riddled year this year, not gotten a lot of time. Was having a pretty good afternoon now.
Parker going hard at the hoop. He's fouled.
Parker, the transfer from Sacred Heart. Of course, as we all know, that is in Fairfield, Connecticut. Did we all know that?
We do now.
Part of the Northeastern League.
Nine-point game. 5 minutes left to go in regulation. Can Zach Kloss lead these Idaho Vandals to a massive upset in this Big Sky tournament? That'll help. Robinson able to score, and he'll head to the free throw line to finish the three-point play.
I tell you, a little misdirection ISO for DeAndre Robinson here. Watch the guy go through, clear the side, and that was intended for Robinson to do just what he did, is turn and attack the 6'9" Bannon. 6-point game with 4:40 left.
Owens inside, fouled as he goes up for the shot. Send Kyle Owens to the free throw line to try to reestablish some Grizzly momentum. What's interesting is since the early minutes of this game, the first 5-6 minutes, Montana has led, Joe, but it's never felt like an overtly comfortable lead.
No, it has not at all. And you got to credit Idaho a little bit of again, a team that's 1-20. It'd be very easy for them to give in and kind of end the misery, so to speak. But gosh, they have played hard, they've coached hard, and they've executed very well at the half court.
(63-54) the score now. Again, the winner of this game advancing to play Weber State tomorrow night at 8 o'clock right here on Pluto TV in the Big Sky quarterfinals. Blakney trying to work inside on Mac Anderson. Montana winning that possession.
9-point lead for Montana. They need to take their time at half court now and get a good shot, really execute. Another great hesitation by Cameron Parker. The first half he had one, or maybe that was early in this half, going to his left where he comes to almost a complete stop and then hits second gear and gets right to the rim. He converted the first one I was referring to, but left that one a little short.
Blakney outside, looks for motion, gets it from Garvin. Now a cutter with Christmas. Blakney, the hook shot up and off the glass, but that will send him to the free throw line on the foul. We got a timeout on the floor, and we'll take it. Montana with a 9-point lead.
Sophomores, and you can just look out here at these freshmen and compare them with the sophomore Josh Vasquez, who has a season high right now, and know there is a lot of truth to that statement.
First free throw is up and in for Blakney. Yeah, the ceiling is especially high for this Montana Grizzly team going forward.
15 points by Scott Blakney, which kind of removes that bad taste out of his mouth on senior night against Montana State. In their last home game, he only had 6 points and 1 rebound because of foul trouble mostly.
Vasquez, handoff over to Beasley. Beasley throws up a shot. He's hit hard.
Scott Blakney, as I said, playing in his 101st, nice rebound by Blakney, 101st game, gets his team another possession there and allows them to trim the lead to 5.
Garvin with a splashdown from the corner. Coming up on 3 minutes to go. Hard to the rack is Whitney, and he'll head to the free throw line.
Okay, Whitney has a knack. Some kids, some players, college players, have a tendency to avoid contact, and some deliver the contact. And this young man has a knack for delivering the blow and finding your body, kind of like a heat-seeking missile. As he drives, he finds the other team's body and gets himself to the free throw line. Watch this as he finds contact there. Great concentration by keeping his chin up off his chest.
Is that something you can teach a kid to love contact, or is that just kind of something natural?
Well, I think you can improve it. That's like saying, can you improve a kid's toughness? And a lot of times you can, sometimes you can't. But if you play for Travis DeCure, you can bet your bottom dollar you better have a certain level of toughness about you.
Blakney inside, off the rim, but Vasquez corrals the loose ball. Coming up on 2:30 left in regulation. Montana leading by 7. Into the corner, Vasquez gonna jump it from 3. No. What a job inside by Bannon. Timeout granted to Montana as he fights inside for a loose ball.
And look at his teammates surrounding, knowing how important that hustle play is. and that is the personality. Montana the ball back with a chance to score, obviously, as opposed to Idaho getting that loose ball, coming down, scoring a 2 or 3, and cutting this lead to 4 or 5. Great hustle play.
It's all about the little things.
Well, if you're tough and play hard, a lot of those little things will take care of themselves. It's kind of a simple formula, but it's hard to get guys to buy into that at times.
Inside, runner in the lane is off the mark, but Owens with a critical offensive rebound gets caught on a traveling call.
Great hustle on the rebound, rebounding out of position. Kyle Owens coming from the left-hand side of the basket to the right-hand side of the basket to get that rebound, but then he traveled trying to put it back in.
Under 2 minutes to play. Blakney lays it up and in off the glass. We got a 5-point game, 65-60.
As I said, Scott Blakney kind of conducting adult education classes down on that low block today. He is just kind of having his way with any Montana big defender they put on him.
Pass inside, tipped out of play, stays with Montana.
Scott Blakney now with 17 points.
Timeout on the floor. And the ball will stay with the Grizzlies coming out of that officials review break.
And on alternating possessions, if they're, oh my.
Turnover on the baseline as Vasquez unable to take the inbound pass.
He had a wide open layup then, too, if he could have just held on. That was a little bit of a breakdown in Idaho defense.
Three-pointer off the front of the iron.
And
big shot chance for Idaho there, Joe.
And Montana did exactly what they needed to. Made them take one tough shot over a raised hand and then limited them to one shot. Got the offensive rebound. Now we're under a minute. And once again, now we're back to let's get a quality shot and a quality possession here.
Beasley from the corner. That's off the mark. Under 50 seconds to play. Thacker matched up out top.
Boy, I thought Thacker was open on that step back there. They're using valuable time now. Can't believe Thacker passed that shot up.
Robinson lays it up and in.
One possession
32
game.
seconds.
One possession game. Now it's going to turn into a free throw shooting. Really been very good at the offensive end. The Vandals, while they have shot it pretty good, they've just turned it over too many times to give themselves a chance to have a good offensive night.
Vasquez gets the ball into Bannon. Vandals trying to play straight up. Foul called.
I think they let him run a little bit too much clock before they fouled, and Vasquez holding on to the ball, knowing that he was going to get fouled. Again, he's played with a high level of maturity, and also knowing that he is 30 of 33 from the free throw line this year, 90% free throw shooter. So I thought he played that with a lot of basketball intelligence.
First free throw is up and in. Makes it a 4-point game. At this point, Idaho will have to get a quick score and then foul again immediately.
And Montana's taking everyone off the free throw line to help their transition defense here. Now we're back to what I talked about 30 seconds ago. Make them take a contested shot and then block out and don't let them have a second shot.
Thacker going to jump it from three. That's off the iron. Beasley with the rebound. And the Grizzlies in the driver's seat as they've got a 5-point lead with Robbie Beasley heading to the foul line to shoot what would be game-clinching free throws.
Well, in terms of free throw shooters, the Vandals went from the frying pan to the fire. A 90% free throw shooter was Vasquez. And Robbie Beasley, 58 of 61 for 95%. At one point this year, he made 33 in a row, and just as I said that, he missed one badly. Only his 4th miss of the year, and that one was a bad miss. And that one was a good make.
6-point lead. Thacker has to push quickly. He slipped on the floor. Into the corner. Christmas fouled as he goes to the rack. Travis DeCure not bothered at all by that foul.
With 8 seconds left, the Vandals once again are going to have to get it in and make one last trip to the free throw line. Substitutions
here for Montana. Trade out defense for foul shooting.
Exactly. Yeah, you're pretty sharp. This is not your first rodeo, is it? He took.
This is our 3rd game of the day.
You've learned a lot here in the last 6 or 7 hours, whatever it's been. They took Mac Anderson out, who they had in for defense, as John said, and put Kyle Owens in, who's a better free throw shooter.
Christmas converts on the free throw. 4-point game, 8.7 seconds to go. Vasquez works the ball into Whitney. Whitney fouled with 5.1 seconds left. And the Grizzlies, Joe, going to head to a quarterfinal matchup with a traditional rival. 8 o'clock tomorrow night, Weber State, and it looks like Montana going to play for a spot in the Big Sky semis.
Well, Weber State versus Montana, 2 of the original Big Sky schools that was founded back in 1963. Neither one of them have left the conference in those 58 years. As you say, an old traditional rivalry.
Thacker for 3. That's off the mark, and the game is over. Montana survives. The Idaho Vandals trying to put up an upset bid fall short as the Grizzlies advance to the Big Sky quarters with a